I talked to my family. I said, this is the last thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try this year. I'm gonna work really hard to trying to get a chance to play professional baseball, and I made it. I made it, and I think that was the only offer that I got.
Fly ball onto the track, at the wall, it's gone! Home run!
Turns on a ball, deep right field, and gone!
What a game, what a moment.
All right, I am pumped now to welcome into Flippin Bats Teoscar Hernandez. Teoscar, thanks so much for joining me, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you for
Of
having
course.
me.
So we got new year, new team. You're officially a Los Angeles Dodger. Tell me, what was the process like for you this offseason, ultimately signing with the Dodgers?
And it was you know, first time in free agency and everything, trying to be involved in everything that is happening. Obviously, this year free agency was a little different than the ones before, but at the end of the day, I just tried to make the best decision that I can for me and my family, and I think signing with the Dodgers was the best one in
Were there
this
other
year.
teams that were seriously in the mix down the stretch, or once you decided with the Dodgers, then the process kind of took over and you went forward with them? Or was it like down to the end, you didn't know what you were going to do?
At the end, it was Boston and the Dodgers. We
Yep.
were trying to get more years. In Boston, the only years that they offer was two. So and everybody knows that because it became public.
Yeah.
But like I said, the best opportunity and the best chance that I have to get a good deal was the Dodgers, even it was with 1 year.
I feel like the Dodgers kind of became pretty they this offseason deferred a lot of money to players and it became public, especially with Shohei and his contract and yours as well. There's deferred money with your contract as well. So for you, what was that decision like deferring money and how did it come about? Like, did the Dodgers come to you saying, hey, there's a lot more we want to do with this team? It would really help us if you defer some money, or how did that happen?
I just realized that, as a player, and you see when a team is trying to put a really good team together and they give me the option and I say yes because it helps them to make better decisions and go
Yeah.
for more free agency to make the team better. So at the end of the day, as a player, that's what I want. I want the best team on my side and try to win everything.
You guys certainly feel like you're in a good position with at least one of the best teams in baseball, if not the best. I did read that Shohei was one of the first people to reach out to you after you ended up signing. What did he say to you when he called you?
No, he texted me. He texted me
Okay,
and
what did he say?
he asked me how it was, and then he said, "Hey, now we're teammates. Let's go." That's what I said, and then said, "Welcome," and from there he just keep talking about regular things.
How pumped are you to play with him this year when you've been playing against him for your entire career? Last year, you guys were in the same division. How pumped are you now to be able to play on the same team as Shohei Ohtani?
Oh, I'm really excited, because watching him from the other side and had that in your mind that okay, what this guy do every day to get ready to do the things that he do in the baseball field. Now I got the chance to see him practice and preparing himself for the season and just to enjoy the things that he does.
Can you believe? I was a two-way guy in college, and I feel like people don't quite understand the work that it takes behind the scenes to be able, like, I couldn't even do it in college. I ended up having to pick to become a hitter to be any good at hitting. I couldn't do both. For him to do it in the big leagues at the level he's doing it, the work that he puts in behind the scenes, I just don't think people understand how impressive it is what he's doing.
I mean, he gets really early to the field and start doing things, and 4 hours, 5 hours go by, and he's still doing something.
Yeah.
He do not stop. So he's a really hard worker, and that's why he does the thing that he does. Because he
Are you down in Arizona yet? Have you made the trip down there with your new team, or are you still like next week you'll head down?
Yeah, I had like 4 days already here. Trying to know everybody and trying to get engaged with everybody and get everything ready for the first day that is tomorrow.
Nice. So you're on a team full of superstars. Obviously, there's MVPs everywhere you look. Do you think does that make it easier or more challenging to find your specific role with the team? Because at the end of the day, you're playing 162 games. It helps to know your role and have your role established. Does it make it easier or more difficult with all the superstars on the team?
Uh, for me, the only thing that I want to know is that if I'm gonna play every day and where I'm
Yeah.
gonna play, and I had that clear. They already told me that most of the times I'm gonna be playing left field. I don't know what part in the order, but for me, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna try to do my job and not thinking about anything else. And at the end of the day, I just want to do things to help the team and just trying to win.
So did they tell you when you were signing with the Dodgers, was that something you wanted to make sure of then? Like, hey, I don't want to sign and be in a platoon situation where I'm only facing lefties. Like I want to play most every single day, even though this team is full of stars. Like that's what I want to make sure I'm going to play.
That they were the first one to say that.
Yeah.
You're gonna play every day. I
Good.
didn't ask for it. I didn't talk about it. They
Nice.
were the first one to say it, and that's when they say that I was gonna play left field every day, and sometimes it can change to play right field.
I want to go back to 2011. You signed with the Houston Astros. And man, I can't imagine you're a kid, 18 years old, signing out of the Dominican Republic. What was that process like for you? It's totally different here in the States. You typically go to college or you're drafted out of high school in a big draft. Like what was the process like for you being a kid in the Dominican, getting signed to play for the Houston Astros at 18 years old?
I mean, it was tough, because in the Dominican, when you're getting close to 18 years old, your chances are going down. So the percentage for you to get a professional contract, it's low. Uh, and for me, that year at the beginning of the year, I talked to my family and I talked to my trainer, the one that trains me there.
Mhm.
The That was gonna be my last year because I was gonna turn 19 in October the 2011.
Wow.
And I talked to my family. I said, "This is the last thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try this year. I'm gonna work really hard to trying to get a chance to play professional baseball." And I made it. I made it, and I think that was the only offer that I got
Wow.
in 3 years down in Dominican. It was with the Houston Astros for 15. It was at the end. It was 20,000.
Wow. So it's almost like you have 16, 17, 18, and if you get to 19 years old, your window's pretty much shut.
Your chances are really low. I think when you pass the 18 years old, your
Mhm.
chances are less than 10% for you to
Wow.
sign. So it's really low.
So what was Teoscar Hernandez going to do if he didn't get signed that year by the Houston Astros? He turns 19 years old. You've worked your whole life to become a baseball player. The last 3 years to try and get signed. What would have been next for you?
I mean, for me, I had a very clear. In my family, my brother is an engineer. My dad has a company that do construction and all that stuff, and a lot of family members are engineering. So I had an idea of what I wanted to do if I don't get to the professional baseball
Yeah.
in that time. So just gonna keep studying, going to the university and trying to get ready for life.
Crazy. It all worked out, man. And just 5 years later, at 23 years old, you get the call up to the big leagues in 2016.
Yeah.
What was your call up to the big leagues moment like? Like, how did it happen for you?
It was good, man. It's just something that I think about it and it reminds me like it was yesterday. It was a really really good experience. Every single thing that happened that day, I remember like it was yesterday, and it was an off day in Fresno. We were in Fresno in AAA, Houston, and I was sleeping. I get up. I was going to take a shower. And then I was in the shower, and the phone started ringing. It was a number that I didn't have saved in my contacts, so I didn't listen to it. There's a lot of how you call that, scam, right?
Spam. Yeah, like
Spam,
yeah,
yeah,
scams and
a lot
stuff.
of spams, like calling you every day. So I thought it was one of those, and the phone was ringing, and then stop, and then again the same number. And I said, okay, let me answer, and it was my manager, Tony DiFrancesco.
Mhm.
That time in AAA, he talked to me, and he was the one that told me that I was going to the big leagues.
That's awesome, man. And then, so you end up getting up there. Your second ever AB in the big leagues. You go deep. What was that? What was that moment like? What was that about? Were you still nervous? Were the nerves still there from the first AB, or was it the second at bat? You were like, "All right, I got the first one out of the way. Now I'm here and I'm good." And the nerves were all gone, and then you hit the homer.
I mean, it was something, man. It doesn't feel real
Yeah,
in that moment. Nothing feels real. When I hit the ball, I just feel like I was by myself in the stadium. I didn't hear
yeah,
anything. I didn't see anything. It's just a moment like you were like in space for me. But it was I mean, impressive. It was really like excited, happy, like all the emotions of the good way
yeah.
you can get off.
That's awesome, man. You've now played for the Astros, the Blue Jays, and the Mariners in the big leagues. So my question for you, playing for those three teams over many years at this point, is what teammate, if I ask you what teammate in your career so far has been the most instrumental in your success, who comes to mind?
Kendrick Morales.
Why?
I think he was the only one that I can like watch him and learn from him,
Hmm.
and the only guy that I spent more time playing with him, because I played with Batista, but it was only like 2 months or
Yeah,
1 month.
yeah,
After that, and then it was Donaldson, but Donaldson that year he was hurt most of the year. So, and I started the year in AAA. That was 18, and after that, I didn't have like that real model
hmm,
that I can follow, that I can watch, that I can learn from it until this year.
wow. So I saw in an interview before last season, actually, speaking of like learning from guys, I saw in an interview last year, you were asked about Julio Rodríguez and your relationship with him. And you said you were just trying to get to know him better, to learn from him, and to teach him everything that you knew about the game of baseball. So now, almost exactly a year later, how'd that go? Like, what's your relationship like with Julio now? And what was it like playing with that guy?
I mean, it's incredible. If and you guys know that you watch him play.
Yeah.
And for me, I watch like all the process, all the hard work that he do, all the things that he do in the off season to get ready for the season. He is a kid, but what he does is like a grown man. So
Yeah.
he knows what he wants, and everything that he does is to make him better.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to stop learning. He doesn't want to stop, and the spot that he is right now, he wants to get better. He wants more, and he works for it. He's a really really hard worker.
You guys had last year with the Mariners, you were the eighth youngest team in all of baseball. The Dodgers last year were the oldest team in the game of baseball. So I guess you've kind of been in this interesting position where you're going from a really young team, a lot of energy, a lot of like young up and coming superstars, to a team with a lot of superstars, established MVPs, vets. So is there, and I know it hasn't been long, but is there a noticeable difference for you, a big difference playing with a team full of older vets as opposed to a really young, up and coming, exciting team?
Yes, it is already a different, because like when you're young, it happens to me. It happens to everybody that gets to the big leagues that doesn't
Yeah.
have the experience. When you get to the clubhouse, you see everybody doing their thing,
Yeah.
getting ready. Like they know what they have to do
Yeah.
here in LA. Everybody's focused on getting ready, and all that they think is about winning,
Yeah.
winning, winning, winning. Like it's not the same when you have like a really young group. Their plans are different. The
Yeah.
way they think is different. It's not wrong, but it's different. Like, and for me, playing in a lot of young teams, because I was in Toronto. Toronto was young too,
Yeah.
and I got traded to Seattle. Seattle was young too, and one of the things that I never had was a group of people that I can watch, that I can learn, that I can see them and
Yeah.
trying to take something so I can put it in my career and myself and get better. This is
Yeah.
the first year that I'm gonna have all the good players that I can learn from.
Yeah, that's cool. So you know, really Blue Jays and Mariners, both teams were younger and up and coming and a lot of like hopefully potential superstars, and you're kind of the older vet on the team even at a pretty young age. So now you're surrounded by guys that, you know, like the Freddie Freemans of the world, the Mookies of the world that, you know, you've watched from afar and now get to be able to go to a team that you can learn a lot of things from them.
Yep.
That's got to be pretty exciting.
Yeah, man. I mean, you like any way you look, you're gonna see a guy that is really good hitting.
Yeah.
You're gonna see a guy that is really good pitching. You're gonna see a guy that is really good on defense, and that's when I say that I'm gonna learn a lot from these guys. That's what I meant. You
Yeah.
know, like everywhere you go, everywhere you look, somebody's doing something that you can learn from it, learn how they get ready, and knowing how they've been doing it for so long.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's gonna help me a lot in my career and as a person.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. That's a cool way to look at it for sure. Um, Last year you were on a team before the season that was unbelievable. You got to play for Team Dominican Republic in the World Baseball Classic.
Mhm.
Just from an outside perspective, I thought it was one of the coolest things for baseball that's happened. How was the experience for you playing in the World Baseball Classic?
Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing. You know, I didn't get the chance to play every day,
Yeah.
but experience was there, and I enjoy it the most that I can. And it was cool, man. And just to represent your country, your people, and like the country that see you like grow and everything, and see you becoming a big leaguer. It just satisfies you
Yeah.
as a person, because you look back and see where you was, and now you representing your country. When you had that as a dream, is really amazing, and I don't know how to explain it, but it was good. It was a good experience. I wish they can do that every 2 years.
I know. That was awesome. It was so much fun to be able to watch for sure. And I'm sure it's a testament to you to be on a team full of superstars. It's really cool for you to be able to be a part of that team. And I look back at your career so far, and to me, it seemed like everything for you started clicking really like during the COVID season, I would say. You hit 16 homers in only 50 games during that season, which is nuts. And you hit 289, you won a silver slugger, and your career really, you were silver slugger that year. Your career really took off from there. In 2021, the next year, you were an all-star, won another silver slugger, hit 296 with 32 homers. So my question to you would be like, what clicked for you ahead of that COVID season or during that COVID season? Did something change or was it just more experience in the big leagues?
It just, I think it was more the I was I need to understand the game.
Yeah.
So it's how to get ready, and like you say, I think experience everything comes with experience. So some guys make adjustment right away. Some guys spend more time to make adjustment, and going through all the tough time at the beginning of my career, I think made me stronger, made me better, made me work harder, and I think for me that was the key, to get ready and knowing the lead, knowing the pitchers, and there's a lot of different things that make the difference.
Yeah, some guys take too long to make adjustments, like me. That's why I'm sitting here right now talking to you. I couldn't make those adjustments fast enough. Those
I
92
mean,
mile an
not
hour
not
sliders got the
everybody
best of me.
not everybody can be a baseball player.
Yeah,
If
92 mile an hour sliders got the best of me. I couldn't adjust to them.
it's not easy, man. It's not easy. Even for the professional ones, it's not easy still, and you can see it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I got some fun questions for you before we finish up. First of which being I gotta know. I was looking at your baseball reference, and baseball reference lists one of your nicknames as being Mr. Seeds. What's the story behind that?
It was Toronto, man. I see like all the different teams doing something funny, doing something good when somebody hits a homer.
Hmm.
So in that time, Toronto didn't have anything, and we always have a lot of seats in the dugout. So I said, "Oh, this might be a good idea." I just every time somebody hits a homer, I'm gonna dunk seats in their heads, and I started doing it, and then the Players Weekend came, and I was trying to think for a name, and I don't remember who told me to go. Okay, so but go Mr. Seeds, and I said, wait a minute, okay, that's good, and I just put Mr. Seeds. Since
I
then,
like that. I like that. All right. Who is the toughest pitcher that you have ever had to face in your big league career? Or it could be outside the big leagues, but the toughest pitcher you've ever faced.
for me, the toughest one was Scherzer.
Okay. What about it?
Uh,
Slider?
It's everything. Like when you thinking about one pitch, he throw another one. And when you think about that pitch, he throw another one. And for me, I think that was the hardest at bats of my career.
Yeah. What about on the opposite side of that? A guy you've just always seemed to have his number, no matter what. You step in the box, you know you're getting a hit.
uh, there's a couple that I have a pretty good success against them, but most of them are left-handed.
Okay.
One of them is Martin Perez,
Mm-hmm.
Eduardo Rodríguez, uh, Ryan Jarbro.
Yep.
Who else? But those three are the most ones.
I like
Oh,
that.
and Aníbal Sanchez. I had some
Anibal
really good.
Sanchez?
Yeah,
There's a righty. There's a righty in there.
there's a right in there. Yeah.
If I ask you, funniest teammate you've ever had, who comes to mind?
Gurriel, Lourdes.
Lourdes Gurriel.
Yeah, he always make you laugh. Everything that he does is gonna make you laugh. He's one of those players that you see him and he just laugh. It's really funny because we always talk about it.
Yeah.
Even when we're mad and we look at each other, we laugh. So one of them is him, Vladdy, and Espinal. That
Did
was
you
the
ever
three guys that I have more like experience together.
I know you grew up a huge your favorite player growing up, Vladdy Sr. Then you get to play with Vladdy Jr. I'm assuming you got to meet Vladdy Sr. being a teammate of Jr., right?
Oh yeah, yeah. That was one of the first things that I talked to Vladdy. I said, I need to meet your dad. He's been always my favorite player, and he said, of course. Oh, when did his coming, and he told me, oh, this day, okay, perfect. And since then we became really good friends.
Oh, that's really cool. What
But
was that?
it's really cool.
So you guys are close now. After growing up, he's your idol. You get to meet him, and then you guys become pretty close.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, next one for you. Favorite stadium for you to play at?
Boston.
Why?
I don't know. I love the way the fans are. I love even when people don't think about the stadium is because it's really old. For me, it's one of the best ones. I don't know why it is. I don't know what it is, but it just feels good to play in there.
Yeah. So is that going? I know you're happy where you are and how things ended up this offseason, but was that part of the thought process this offseason when the Red Sox were in the running of like, man, I love playing in that stadium. I love the fans. I would love to play there.
Yeah, yeah. I cannot lie about it. I was really excited because they were showing uh a lot of interest
Yeah.
for me. And but at the end of the day, I just trying to make the best decision that I can for my career and for my family. So
Yeah.
they didn't come with a good deal, so I have to decide going somewhere else.
On the contrary of that question, least favorite stadium for you to play in? It can be like a dump of a stadium, or it could be somewhere where you just cannot buy a hit.
Yankee Stadium.
Really?
I don't like Yankee Stadium
Why?
because I feel like every time we go there, there's one or two day games, and the ball you cannot see the ball in day games. I don't like Yankee Stadium. Not because it's the Yankee Stadium. I just don't like being there. I don't like the city.
You just hate everything about it.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, last one for you. So you now have a teammate that's one of the greatest two-way players of all time, if not the greatest two-way player of all time. You now have a teammate in Mookie Betts who can play a Gold Glove outfield and be a stud infielder. So, could you play another position in the big leagues? Could you pitch? Could you be an infielder? Could you do something else other than play the outfield?
Oh man, maybe an infielder
Yeah,
because I was an infielder before I signed as an outfielder.
middle infield.
Maybe second or third. That I don't have too much to move too much.
That range in the infield might not be where it needs to be.
Yeah, yeah.
Teoscar, thanks so much for joining me, man. This has been a lot of fun. Good luck in spring training. Good luck with the Dodgers this year. You guys are going to be really good. It's going to be really fun to watch, and I really appreciate you hopping on.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Of course. All right. See ya. All right. Thanks again to Teoscar Hernandez for joining me, man. The Dodgers are going to be so good this year. Fascinating to see what they did this offseason, contrary to what a team like the Red Sox did this offseason, and specifically with him, a guy that would have been more than happy to play there, but they just didn't come around to it and really have come around to nothing, at least to this point in the offseason, which is surprising. But man, the Dodgers are going to be good. I love talking to Teoscar. Really cool to hear his story coming up at 18 years old in the Dominican, and that's considered old to sign, and he almost had to call it quits with baseball and do something else. So I really enjoyed that conversation. Hope all of you did as well. Thank you all for listening. Make sure you're subscribed wherever you listen to your podcast, Apple or Spotify. You can watch on Spotify or YouTube, and we're on all social media at Flippin Bats Pod for all of them. But that does it for today's show. Thank you all for watching. Spring training is here. It's upon us finally. Until next time, this has been Flippin' Bats.